Okay, so hello everyone. Are you ready to start? Can I please ask you to mute your mic, and from now on, if you can, please do not use the proximity text messaging, because we're also recording this this session. So basically all the text messages will come up on the recording. So if you can use the private text messaging to communicate with each other, that would be appreciated. So once again, I welcome you here. Please, I will remind you to make sure that everybody is muted. I can still see somebody who is not muted. So if you can kindly mute yourself, that will be appreciated. Okay, you can, of course, just feel free to stand on the steps so that you can see the screen a little bit better behind you. What I will try to do is this, as I have mentioned before, I will ask people to come up here and give a presentation about their work. It could be that today not everybody might get to present seeing it on the screen. I will try to share my desktop, and in that way hopefully you will be able to see what's going on, and the other person can in fact present what's going on the shared desktop on the top right hand corner of your screen. If it doesn't come up, please do not worry. Tell us what you did, tell us what you discovered, and tell us what you have found out and what you have learned throughout. Since we're a huge number of groups, since we're 15, I ask you to try and be as short as possible. And in fact, I will start by doing a very brief introduction. First of all, I would like to welcome you all officially to this first information seminar this evening. Of course, I would like to thank you all for your presence here this evening. I'm very happy and pleased to see you here. The scope for this information seminar is to give you the opportunity to discuss and share your findings with the rest of us here. I will make it a point that all of your presentations, all of your work will be deposited into the drop boxes here, so that you can go back and see it and also see what other people have done. As I mentioned, the best three posters or presentations that I find, or videos as well as I have had, will feature prominently inside this world, but also in the fourth world. That is the last word that you will have. In fact, the last word will be made up of all of your work that you will be able to display on the world, in the world, inside the world. So having said that, I would like to end these preambles and move on to the object of the seminar. First of all, I would have to inform you that I will not be going through each slide of my presentation, which is just behind me. You will be able to find a copy of this presentation, and including its accompanying notes, from the meeting room Dropbox down here, or else in some of the meeting areas upstairs. What I would like to do today is discuss my experiences of e-learning, both as a participant in these courses as well as a person who has actually delivered some courses via e-learning. What I would like to say is that e-learning is like a double-edged sword. If not handled well and if not planned well, participants can end up feeling completely isolated. How one designs e-learning is not easy. E-learning design is something which I cannot even start to tell you in a few words, or even hours for that matter of fact. It is something that takes a lot of practice, a lot of readings, and a good amount of effort to be able to plan. Those people who say, okay, I can do e-learning because I have uploaded something onto a virtual learning environment, then they don't really know what they want to get out of e-learning. Moreover, e-learning concerns your target audience. If I plan something for a group of adults, like yourselves, for example, it doesn't necessarily mean that the same thing can be replicated for a group of youths. Make no mistake, e-learning is quite difficult to handle and also difficult to plan for, okay? It's not something that can be done very easily and very quickly. It takes some time to do it. Yet again, even if you plan some e-learning course for a group of youths, it doesn't necessarily mean that it might suit the other group of youths. So learning is a complex process and as such needs to be treated with a degree of respect it warrants, both for the students you have and for yourselves. My experience with e-learning as a participant is quite varied. Right now, for example, I am following this open course. I'm sharing the course with another 4,000 people. It's called a massively open online course, and basically it allows you to experience a different kind of e-learning, the type that allows complete flexibility and complete responsibility in your own learning. I will eventually show you a little bit what they are doing, but basically the concept is very, very simple. There is a person who posts readings. Okay, this person has got loads and loads of experience in this. This person has also done. Okay, Emma is not listening, is not hearing me. But if you can refrain from using the proximity text message, please. And I would like to ask everybody to mute their mics, please. Antonia as well. So what they did was that they created this space where they posted some readings. But the real learning is not exactly the readings that everybody goes through. The real readings happens afterwards. Therefore, what they did is provide space for discussions. So there is a discussion forum. They invite everybody to tweet using a specific hashtag. They also invite people to reflect using a blog. So what they're doing here are that they're using different types of tools, okay, to facilitate discussion, that's number one, collaboration, that's number two, and reflection, that's number three. And these are very essential elements if you want to do something that has to deal with e-learning. That's why I concentrate on the learning in E. I have just read a very interesting blog site by a person called, who calls himself the Digital Realist. And he says, okay, it's true, we cannot make our students learn. And this I agree with. That's what I've always told you. I cannot tell you exactly what to learn. But he also says that at the end of the day, you can give as much flexibility in so much as an embedded environment. Therefore, you do need to guide your students, but you also need to flexibly guide your students within parameters. And that is what good e-learning tries to achieve, to make the parameters wide enough that people can learn on their own without you having to tell them exactly what you have to do, what they have to do. Of course, there is this challenge with the younger generation, because what we're saying here is that everybody should take responsibility for their own learning. Now, probably some of you are realizing that it is not easy to take responsibility for your own learning. You have to be disciplined with yourself, you have to show motivation, you have to show engagement. It is not easy because there aren't people to tell you exactly what to do step by step. And this is what you have been used to so far. Now imagine doing this with your young students. I can imagine that at first it is met with resistance. And I can also imagine that many people will tell you, this is not the way to teach. Because of course we're not used to that. We're used to the sage on the stage. People telling other people what to do and what to learn. And this is radically different. However, and I conclude with this question because I do not want to take up any more of your time, is, do you believe in this enough so as to allow your young learners to take learning in their own hands and make the right connections. Do you believe enough? So, and with this question, I would like you to reflect a little bit about this, and I would like to introduce our speakers for tonight, and these are your colleagues who will present briefly what they have discussed throughout the week. I would like now to invite someone from Group 3, please. I would also like to thank Paul for keeping to the time, so thank you for that. Who will be presenting from Group 3, please? Is it Victoria?
Yes.
Okay, Victoria. I leave everything to you.
So, shall I start, Vanessa?
Yes, please, Victoria. Please start. Thank you.
Thank you. So, in our group, we are doing our PGC Unitarian. So, we made this video, which will from this side, goanimate.com. In this video, actually, we have created in a sort of a school environment. The students here respond to questions the teacher makes about direct learning. The students themselves respond to the teacher's questioning, and they in fact emphasize the importance of learning. First of all, learning is an approach with which students can retrieve information in a more flexible and motivated way. Besides that, learning is also a visual learning environment, such as in fact audio-visual devices, blogs, games, websites, podcasts, and much more. This environment is ideal as learners remain concentrated in the lesson, involve themselves more, and as a result are more interested in the subject. In fact, we have divided the video into parts. The first part, as I already mentioned, we have highlighted some of the main concepts and features of the e-learning, whilst in the second part, we find out that this audiovisual device can be used also in our future teaching. So, we created a dialogue, in our case, in Italian between two native speakers of Italian. This video is being shown to the class, and this is conversation in Italian. With this way, we have shown how to create meaning for themselves, learning. Like this, students are being involved in the lesson and are being involved through these learning devices. In fact, through this video, we wanted to highlight the key concepts of learning, like critical thinking, that the students are hearing what the native speakers are saying in Italian, they are responding back in Italian, so they are also practicing their Italian communication skills. On the other hand, collaboration between students and education, there is also creativity and also reflection and evaluation. In fact, this method is useful as the students don't get they don't only listen to what the teacher has to say. It is not a linear way of learning, but it is more multidimensional as they see what the teacher wants to teach them and they are practicing in the classroom. We also, through this method, we also notice that these lessons also mental, emotional, and physical growth of the students. The students learn not to study by heart, but to learn through fire. In fact, I think this is one of the main principles of e-learning. Learning should not be like compulsory. Yes, in school it is compulsory, but it has to be done in a fun way. So, because when it is done in a fun way, students learn to remember more what they are being taught. Like this, we created an environment that overcomes even barriers. As we are using the Italian language during the lessons, we are also promoting the Italian culture. So even the students feel more near to the Italian culture. Finally, we focused on the importance of using not only the podcast. There's also the spice notes that can be a useful task, a useful methods in the learning environment. At last, I think that in these methods can be used also in all the teaching subjects, as it will help the students, even for example, give opportunity to do such videos at home, or even for example in a computer lab at school. So even together they can learn to create this e-learning environment that will help them to make learning fun in educational purpose. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you very much for that. I do agree very much with what you said. I have seen the video that you have created, you and your team, and I think it's very good. So thank you for doing that, for sharing it with us. The rest of your colleagues will be able to see it as well in the coming days. So thank you for that and for your efforts. I do agree very much, but then don't worry, we will have time even to discuss even at a later date, not necessarily today, about certain issues that we see. Okay, so that was Victoria. Group 4, please. Anybody from Group 4 who is presenting? Is it Miriam?
I'm here.
Oh, Charmaine. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Charmaine,
Okay.
you can start whenever you're ready. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. I'm ready. Good evening to everyone. I am representing the computing team. So let's look at our work. Mela. First of all, some of you might ask, what is the hype about e-learning? Some of you might also think, what do I need e-learning for? Can't I teach using the traditional methods? Well, our answer should reflect, and we should think also about our students. We are living in a technological world, whether we like it or not. Our students are digital native. So in order for us to communicate our objectives, to deliver our aims, it is important that we learn to communicate their own language, that is, technology. Now, in our spicy notes, we defined e-learning as being a transistor medium where the learners have more opportunities to create meanings for themselves, making sense out of their learning in the context in which they live. So basically, e-learning is simplifying our method of communication with our students. Mela, in our spicy notes presentation, we categorized the advantages and disadvantages about e-learning. The first, the advantages. There are endless resources. The internet is a pool of resources. The only limitation is our imagination. The lessons are more interactive and engaging. With the help of e-learning, our students are active participants, and they are not simply listening to a lesson, but they are participating, contributing. There is also the sharing of resources. For example, if I am a teacher, I can upload my notes in a blog, and my students can access them whenever they want, at their own pace. These notes are shared with my students. Now, e-learning also facilitates communication. I mean, we can communicate with my students quite easily. We are simply use a blog, and they can send me an email whenever they feel they have to. Now, some disadvantages. A lot of time should be spent in planning e-learning resources. Believe me, e-learning takes a lot of preparation. E-learning also hinders face-to-face communication. I cannot see the verbal expression of my students. Now, the equipment, I need a lot of equipment. We cannot take for granted that all our students can access a computer. There are students who don't have a computer at home, so for them communicating over the web, it's quite difficult. And also our students are dependent upon technology. What does this mean? Even though technology provides an immediate feedback to our students, I don't know, I have an online test, and the results are seen immediately. But what is happening to our students? They are impatient. They are not learning how to be patient. Some of the life skills are being hindered through the usage of e-learning. So another aspect we looked at is also how we can apply e-learning into our subject area. In the Spicy Nodes, we provide some links. For example, we provided the link to a CPU simulation. Basically, we have the central processing unit, and which is a difficult part of our syllabus. And through the usage of the CPU simulation, students can apprehend much more the subject being taught. We can also use various websites. For example, we found the reviewgamezone.com, we found teachict.com, Kuya.com. These are all websites through which you can prepare games in order to derive some of the theoretical concepts of computing. For example, we don't have input and output devices is a topic which is quite theoretical and nothing practical. So through the usage of these games, we hope that our students grasp the subject better and having more fun. For example, also, we highlighted the advantages of using blogs and wikis. Students use blogs to communicate, and it would be a good idea as a teacher to upload the own classroom blog. So again, we can inform the parents of this strategy. So we are enhancing parent participation. So they know what their kids are doing, and they start to participate in their children's life school.
Okay, Charmaine, if you can just wind up, please, so that the others can.
Okay. So basically, this is what we found about e-learning. Now, we have uploaded Spicy Nodes, and also there is a link from where you can access the YouTube videos as well as the Glockstar website we have created. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you very much, Charmaine, for that. Yes, we can clap our hands to her as well. So now we go to group number 5. Who will be presenting from group number 5, please? Tanya, okay. Tanya, you can start whenever you want. Try to be as concise as possible if you can, please. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'll be presenting the English and German group tonight, and this is what we have discussed. Question 1. From what you read and came across, what is e-learning? E-learning refers to a wide range of applications and processes designed to deliver instructions through electronic means. Content is delivered via the internet, intranet, extranet, audio or or instructor-led and includes media in the form of text, image, animation, streaming video and audio. Question 2. Can you name some of the most important e-learning concepts? We have discussed e-learning as a social group, where cyberspace can be used as a social space, where we share experiences and knowledge, constantly teaching each other online. It can help shy students to participate. It has been suggested that without a visible audience, people let go and be more themselves in cyberspace. E-learning is happening all the time. We learn through everyday experiences and whenever we use technology. E-learning as the key to inclusion. For example, people with learning difficulties or disabilities have the opportunity to socialize and to learn in a largely independent setting. As online peer tutoring, students can review, discuss, and learn from each other's work. As e-learning reduces the gap between school and life, for example, Facebook, blogs, etc. will make school more relevant, and it gives us the opportunity to teach them how to use these tools responsibly and productively. And autonomous learning. Here, a learner learns independently as they seek information on their own following their initiative. For example, when we go to the world and watch presentations and read documents. This does not work one way only. We also upload our own bits of information, thus create a platform for information exchange. The creation of an environment where people want to learn. Creating connections through the existence of a network or an online world which serves as an interactive platform for learners. Question number 3. Can you provide a good example of a good e-learning website? What is it? Why is it a good example? One example of a good e-learning resource is a website called Fokaroo. This website is particularly useful for language teaching as it allows teachers to set speaking work outside the classroom. It provides an online voice recording service. This allows students to record up to 10 minutes of sound. After completing their work, they can email the recording to any email address. During a conference on EFL teaching, the speaker shared this resource as a tool for freer speaking practice. For example, a teacher could simply ask students to describe their day in a few sentences. I believe this could also be used to drill pronunciation and as guided practice with set sentences for students with lower abilities. One can easily apply the concept of e-learning in the classroom through the website weebly.com. This is a website which allows people to create their own web pages. Creating a website for one's teaching subject can be useful at home as in the classroom. It can be used to set and explain homework and to give students extra activities to do relating to what was done in class, such as grammar and vocabulary games. One can post photos and videos to help students visualize the literature covered, and students can discuss the homework together in the forum or put up comments and criticism about the lesson or feedback.
Okay, Tanya, just not to hurry you too much, but if you can maybe just summarize the next items that you have so that we can have space for everybody, because we're still in group 5 and we have up until 15, otherwise we'll be here till midnight. If you know,
Right.
so if you can summarize in a few words and conclude, that will be great. Thank you.
I will, okay. Right, the quality of the study process is improved in new and exciting ways, and this new way of imparting and delivering knowledge, leaves its impact on a whole generation of students. This is not to say that the school as a physical space will not remain at the center of teaching and learning, the locus of educational interaction. The myth that new technologies are likely to endanger the existence of schools and teachers should be rejected and dispelled. Technology can only enrich, support and enhance the school experience. eLearning provides students with flexible learning and promotes the sharing of knowledge and academic trade and philanthropy. Indeed, eLearning gives educational institutions the opportunity to share their own ideas to their own needs. eLearning is thus unquestionably a way in which the education system can keep up with globalization trends. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. Thank you very much. That's it. A clap for you as well. And if you can, please, next speakers, try to summarize. Try to avoid reading. I know you have your notes and it's nice to read, but try to summarize and really try to, as much as possible, just tell us what you discussed within your group and what conclusions, and if you have learned something which is new. Okay, next group is Petra's and Adrienne's group. I know they sent me some stuff. Who is presenting? Is it Adrienne?
Yes, I'm presenting presentation.
Okay, Adrienne, in your hands, just please, few minutes, just tell us what you have done. I know that you did a lot of work, so just tell us what you did. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So basically, we have discussed what e-learning is, and we have brought out a lot of points, what the other groups have just said. Basically, what we said is that e-learning is very learner as opposed to the teacher-oriented classroom we are used to. Seeing as we are the French group, we have focused more on French as a language. We have found a YouTube channel and a website which basically has a lot of videos helping students to learn different aspects of language, like, for example, body parts, numbers and days of the week, etc. Basically, we saw this website being used in a classroom, and we can all say that this is very, very effective. On our paper, we have used Boxster, I believe the website is called. Yes. We have included a video which you can all watch when it is uploaded later on the Dropbox. Basically, this website has loads of songs, as I said. You can also choose a language, either English, French, or Spanish. And what we have said, it is very intriguing. They're very extremely catchy, as you can you will now hear as you see the poster we have made. Basically, students can access this whenever they want, at whichever time they want, and we can safely say that this will also intrigue their parents, and what we call, the snowball effect. Basically, that's it, because we have mentioned, obviously, stuff that others have mentioned, but I will obviously repeat. So basically, I think that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being short and to the point. Much appreciated. I'd just like to point out that there are people in the spawn area. If you can, people who are at the front, if you can make your way up to the steps, there is enough space for everyone. This is a huge auditorium. If you can just go up on the steps over there, you'll be able to see much better. You will also be able to feel a little bit less squashed, because you're all squashing yourselves in one area, and there is enough space for everyone inside this place. So if you're inside there over here where I see a lot of people, just feel free to come in, please. Move. You can even climb up on stage if you don't feel like going up the stairs, but there are the stairs there for everybody, and you can just feel free to space out and get a little bit of a breathing space, because there is the space to do it, and we can do it. So if you can, please, I'll give you just a minute or two so that you can disperse, and feel free to disperse. In the meantime, I would like to call on stage our next speaker from Group 7. Is it Sharon? Will Sharon be presenting, Sharon Patch, or will somebody else? Yes, it is
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sharon. Just one second, because I can still see people squashed in the entrance to the hall. So if we can move a little bit, please, move a little bit so that people can actually move out. And there are loads of stair areas over there, and you can feel free to go and just stand there. It's better than standing all squashed together.
Okay, shall I start?
You can start, Sharon. As I said,
Okay.
with the other groups, please summarize. Please just try to be as to the point as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, thank you. So, in our presentation, we try to answer the main 6 questions. For the first, we stated that e-learning is learning used using digital means such as software or internet applications, where the internet is used as a medium of transmission. It is all about digital ways of expression, in other words. In the case of question 2, where we are asked concepts, I will only list a few here. There are more in the presentation itself. E-learning is very useful because it facilitates learning for people with disabilities, and even for people with personal problems and family problems. It allows for learning at anywhere you are and at any time that suits you, and it makes students self-accountable rather than depending on the teacher. It broadens horizons, enhances computer skills, and it leads a greater inclination towards collaboration. As regards the third question, being the science group, we found a very good e-learning website on science called school.co.uk. It is ideal because it consists of a search engine, interactive lessons and activities, as well as immediate feedback and very good tests you can perform after reading the lesson through. As regards the fourth question, we found that experiments can be performed using, for instance, interactive whiteboard or online applications. Most in the case where experiments might be too dangerous to perform live in class. Teachers can send links via email and educational videos to their students, and the students may share videos and resources amongst themselves. For the fifth question, feedback may be given on students' performance immediately by the teachers or tutors, using audio, video clips, and sharing hyperlinks to enhance the learning experience. It allows students to build up applications or create presentations to be shared amongst colleagues, like today, and it allows flexibility in class, as well as follow up the previous lessons and topics. And finally, for the last question, e-learning is effective because it helps students visualize topics or concepts learned. It aids understanding and helps students retain information better. Previous studies, such as that by the U.S. Department of Education in 2010, state that it is more effective than face-to-face instruction in most cases. That's basically all for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. That was great. Short and to the point, and thank you very much. So a clap goes for you as well. Please, I repeat, there are people still in the corridor. There was somebody who was stuck. I think it was Jessica asking for people to move from the corridor. Please move away from the corridor. Get onto the steps. Space out. You have enough space to go everywhere. Please try to make space for everybody to move away from the corridor, because this is really uncomfortable. So if you can just move, then everybody will be able to see. So move on the steps. I'm seeing loads of people over there. Please come forward. If you don't feel like getting on the steps, get on stage, but please make way for everybody to pass from the spawn area and not get stuck. Next group, please. Is it Clementina? Is it Tina who is going to speak tonight? That's group 8. There was Maria and Christina Tard and Carmel who left and Clementina. Will somebody come on stage, please? Yes, will we have our next speaker? No, we don't have a next speaker. We'll skip group 9. Group 10, people from group 10. There's Maria Kotar, Christine Haber, Janelle Zamit, Scott Greg, Fabienne, Sarah, Emma, Raisa, Andy, and Claire. Who will be speaking for group number 10, please?
I will.
Very good.
Emma.
Oh, very good, Emma. Okay. The floor is for you, and you can feel free to start. Again, please be short to the point. Just tell us what you discussed and what you learned. Thank you.
Okay, our website. So if you a new tab and the address, you can have a look at what we did. The address is integrating learning technologies .snack snack.ws. And basically,
Emma, just a bit. This site will be available from This World. Okay, I saw it and it's really good.
Okay.
So it will be available from This World and the persons. It is one of the chosen 3 which will feature in this coming world and in the others. So the people will be able to see it more. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So basically, learning that we discussed, most of them, everyone mentioned. What we discussed also is that it's very important that when you use e-learning, it is planned and there's always an aim behind it, because rather than a substitute for teaching, it has to be seen as a complement to it. So there must also always be a reason for showing a particular video or using a website or a social network. I think we also feel that it shows students what sort of positive and beneficial things they can do on the internet instead of just Facebook and stuff like that. We chose a couple of sites which we think are useful for the classroom, mainly because they give very clear instructions and they use very engaging games and good graphics. We also made, 2 of our members, Sarah and Maria, made a couple of mind maps, and so did Andy. And they showed how e-learning can be synchronous or asynchronous, or which is basically that the difference. Sometimes you need real-time communication and other times you don't. We also said that e-learning can be self-paced, instructor-led, or self-study with an expert, which basically self-paced, you're the freest, you're basically on your own. Instructor-led, you have a plan. Other than that, you can find all the other things we discussed on the website, and that's it, really.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Emma. I do suggest that even your colleagues have a look at it, because it's a very good website, I think, and done also very nicely, and it shows good work. So good work to all of you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Bye.
Group 11, please. Who will be speaking? It's Melanie, Miriam, Rita, Dylan, Rachel, Anne-Marie, Stefan, Christine, Charles, and Giselle Marie. Anybody who is speaking from that group? Is nobody speaking for that group? Is somebody speaking? There's Petra Angelica, that is the mic is not muted.
So,
I can see that Antonia and Petra, they're not muted. Antonia Aquilina, we can hear what's going on. Stefano Bugelli is not muted as well. Rita, will you be speaking next? Rita De Martino? No. Okay, is there anybody who is speaking from Miriam? Okay, Miriam. Ah, your microphone is not working. Okay. Miriam, would you like to I don't know, just summarize in a bit, or maybe we can move on to the next group, and then maybe if your microphone works shortly. Yes, of course. I can type it. Yes, but maybe it will take a lot of time. Can we, Miriam? Can I ask you so that we move on to the next group? And so, unless somebody else from your group would like to say something, then we can move on to the next group so that we can. Yeah. No response. Okay, can I have somebody from group number 12? Johan's group, Johan Bujaya's group. Is there anybody who is speaking from their end? Yep, guys, you're texting in the proximity chat. Everybody's getting your chats. Is there anybody who is presenting from group number 12? There's Janine, Balzaninger, Jillian, Johan, Alessandra, Marilyn, Ingrid, Jessica, Wayne, Marlene, Stephanie, Lucienne. Is there anybody who is presenting from that group? Nobody is presenting from that group as well? Group number 13, we've got Denise, Annalise, Mandy, Josmar, Braden, Jade, Raisa, Maria. Maria, I think, was presenting, yes? Is Maria here?
Vanessa.
Yep. Yes, Maria, I can hear you.
You hearing me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I can start?
Yes, please. Please do start.
Okay. So for our presentation, which will be available in the web, we discussed some advantages and disadvantages, as the other group said. Maybe we can have a look at them in the web rather than just saying the same points. And then we discussed that, and we found on the internet that e-learning falls into 4 categories, from the very basic to the very advanced. These are online support, synchronous learning, asynchronous learning, and knowledge databases. Online support is a form of e-learning and functions in a similar manner as knowledge databases, which is another category of e-learning. Online support comes in the form of forums, chat rooms, online bulletin boards, email, or live instant messaging support. Slightly more interactive than knowledge databases, online support offers the opportunity for more specific questions and answers, as well as more immediate answers. As for synchronous learning, this is done in real time with a live instructor facilitating the learning. Everyone logs in at a set time and can communicate directly with the instructor and with each other, as we're doing in this presentation over here. You can raise your cyber hand and even view the cyber whiteboard. It lasts for a set amount of time, from a single session to several weeks, months, or even years. This type of learning usually takes place via internet, web sites, audio or video conferencing, internet telephony, or even two-way live broadcasts to students in the classroom. Another category is asynchronous learning. This is e-learning in the more traditional sense of the word. It involves self-paced learning, either CD-ROM based or network based. It may include access or instructors through online bulletin boards, online discussion groups, and email. Or it may be totally self-contained with links to reference material in place of a live instructor. The last category is knowledge databases. These are not necessarily seen as actual training. However, these databases are the most basic form of e-learning. You've probably seen knowledge databases on software sites offering indexed explanations and guidance for software questions, along with step-by-step instructions for performing specific tasks. These are usually moderately interactive, meaning that you can either type in a keyword or phrase to search the database or make a selection from an alphabetical list.
Okay, Maria, if you can just summarize, please, the last bit so that we can.
Okay. The rest of the PowerPoint presentation just discusses the fundamental differences between the classroom and e-learning. We found a simple website that discusses teaching as e-learning with Maltese. It's more used as for people who want to learn Maltese as a foreign language than as a native language. And that's all basically. And we found 10 pedagogic reasons in e-learning as well to be available in the PowerPoint. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. There goes a clap for you as well. Clapping hands. So thank you for that. We get to group 14 and then group 15, that's the last group. So the last two groups, please do try and summarize more what you have done. Don't worry about presenting it the way you have written it, but just tell us a little bit more, even informally, about your own views or your group's views. Who is presenting from Luke, Mildred, Charlotte, and Lillian? Did I get that Luke who is not here? So, Heaviness, can we go next? We are the PSD group. Ingrid Frendo. Yes, sure, Ingrid. Please go ahead and so it's Ingrid Frendo next. Whenever you're ready. Maria, can you mute yourself, please? And well done to Maria. Yep. There's Rita Gatt who has the microphone on. If you can mute yourself, Rita, unless you're speaking next. No, Ingrid Frendo. She told me she was coming. Yeah, Ingrid. No. Rita Gatt, can you please mute your mic? Yep. Ingrid Frendo, you said you were going to present, you didn't. Luke Grech, Mildred Zamit, Charlotte Samud, and Lilian Bedzina. Is anybody here to present? No? So we come to the last group. Is there anybody from the last group? There's Jessica, Maria, Christina Zamud, Yannicka Magro, Keith Atzopardi, Stefan Bedzina, Clifford, Carla, Maria, and Liam Bayada. Who will be presenting from your end, please?
I'm presenting Leanne.
Hi, Leanne. Okay. Floor's over to you. We can hear you.
Okay, so I am representing 9 other people from the Maltese group, and we started our presentation by tackling the question, what is e-learning? Well, e-learning is the use of information and communication technology to enhance and support learning. If we take as an example the University of Malta, currently e-learning is primarily delivered through the VLE. I will try to summarize We also spoke about asynchronous learning and synchronous learning and the difference between them. Now, I am going to speak about the concepts of e-learning. First of all, e-learning is constant change. It is teaching with use of technology regardless of e-learning form and type of place where it is implemented, for example, at school, university, within a company, organization, and so on. Learners determine what and they access information. It is learner controlled, but limited to one environment. Rich and flexible tools are chosen to create, collect, and distribute information. Now, what are the concepts of e-learning education? E-learning offers flexibility as students can learn at their own pace. Also, one can overcome the problem of distance, time, and lack of resources. E-learning also offers the possibility of having measurable assessments, which can be created so that both the instructors and students will know what the students have learned when they've completed courses and how they have performed. It encourages students to pursue true information by using hyperlinks and sites on the World Wide Web. It allows them to select learning materials that meet their level of knowledge, interest, and what they need to know to perform more effectively in activity. It also encourages students to take personal responsibility for their own learning. Which websites can be considered as good e-learning websites? These are the websites which present various learning styles to help people learn in different ways. Also, these websites should have standard format materials which can be used by different systems. Now, we found 4 different websites which later on you can see in our PowerPoint presentation. And what about e-learning available for the teaching of Maltese, which is our subject? And one has to point out that e-learning websites are still limited in the subject area, as most of the sites are in English, and thus this can be considered as a drawback. When we try to access certain pages from the government learning websites, some of them were not accessible from every computer due to antivirus security purposes. However, we managed to find an example on a learning website in Maltese, and although it is specifically for primary schools, it can be easily extended also to secondary teaching. This is www.malti.scola.edu.mt. And through this website, one can share her own ideas through a forum, upload resources such as PowerPoint presentations, notes and videos, view and take ideas from other teachers' uploaded material, and follow step-by-step guidance for creating activities. Finally, we designed also a mind map, as you will see later on, about how one can apply e-learning in and out of Maltese-taught classrooms. And this can be done through the use of CDs and other media, by designing activities using interactive whiteboard, uploading Maltese-related videos on YouTube and other similar sites, creating virtual rooms, and connecting online with guest speakers. This is basically our presentation.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Thank you for all Group 15, all these material that Leanne and her group have made. There's a clap for you as well. Well done. All these things that Leanne and her group have made will be available in the Dropboxes all around here, so then you can have a look at them as well. Now, forgive me, Ingrid, because I didn't see you before, but if Ingrid Frendo is ready to give her presentation. Yep. Will you be able to start, Ingrid? Ingrid, can you speak? Can you be able to present? Thank you. No, it seems that Ingrid has got some problems. So I think that what I would like to say to you all is very well done for your work, for your effort. I do believe, okay, I do believe I think that hi everyone.
In fact, there are different projects which the students can view, and also they can read about facts about drugs, and of course the disadvantages. Also, there is the fun part as well in this website where they can play games, and also view videos. Also, there is a section in this website where students can read about actual people who have problems with drugs. Basically, its effectiveness is that they are actively involved in learning. And of course, they are enhancing their knowledge when surfing the internet. Of course, the teacher needs to monitor well, since there are different websites that are not well equipped, and maybe they contain content not suitable for students. Also, the teacher can also link this website with others, such as YouTube and forums and blogs. Basically, that's all we discussed.
Okay, sorry about that. I got disconnected myself. Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you for
Thank you.
for presenting yours and the other groups from the PSD. Okay, so having said that, I do apologize for any inconvenience today, especially the inconvenience that relates to the audio difficulties. The internet connection does make a huge difference, of course. I apologize that I couldn't have the best connection ever to be able to help and host the meeting a bit better. What I would like from you now, okay, now we sign off and we say goodnight and so on, is to think a little bit about what things can come out of this and what good we can have inside the schools. You've read a lot, you've seen a lot of things, you've experimented with a lot of things, and I'm really proud that many of you have presented such good quality material. So I would like to say a big well done to all once again. I would also like to say thank you, and for the next information seminar things will be a bit different, that I promise. I know that there are some people like me who experience internet difficulties at home. It might be a little bit tricky. However, please send me your feedback and your comments as to when ideally we could meet. There was another suggestion to meet on a Friday rather than on a Monday for these information seminars. And also please do send me if you have any specific time preferences for holding these seminars. We've got a Facebook group now, so please feel free to post some of your preferences over there. Of course, the rule of the majority wins in these cases. So hopefully people can somehow well, you can all feel a little bit satisfied about things. So thank you very much. Have a good night. Take care. This session will be recorded. The recording will not be very good because I had problems with sound quality as well, but I have captured most of the presentations. So thank you, good night, and we shall be speaking again soon. We'll keep in touch over the virtual world. Thank you.